truth comes out, when the truth comes out.
What's up, what's up, what's up, my beautiful, diverse American people? It's me, JD, the good JD, George Delata. I want to be your next president. I'm not a billionaire, not a millionaire, not a politician, not a communist, not a socialist, not a Republican, not a Democrat, not a communist, not a Marxist, just a fucking American. And I know we can do better. And just want to catch up on a couple of the current events. The masterful Mandami visit to the White House, where we saw an excellent example of exactly what I'm talking about, and how love and intelligence can just completely dismantle ignorance and hatred. And we saw it on display there. We saw the charm, elegance, intelligence, and love that Mandami brought, contrasted against the ignorance and hatred that we've been experiencing from this criminal syndicate regime over the past 11 months, 12 months. And we're seeing, we saw how love and intelligence just completely dismantled ignorance and hatred. But on that thought, that doesn't mean that ignorance and hatred is any less or lessening in any way. Because we saw, when I said earlier in a previous video how I highlighted the fact that in my administration, I'm going to have alpha women comprising a huge part of it. I was raised by alpha women. My mother, my grandmother, my aunt. There's a long line of alpha women in my family that, made us the people we are. And because of their love, because of their alpha love, we're seeing that when I said to you guys that what they fear most are our beautiful females, our moms, our sisters, our wives, our daughters, are who they fear most. And some of you say, nah, we don't fear anybody. We don't fear women. We don't fear women at all. The beta boys right away chimed up. And if you haven't heard or you haven't noticed, they just pretty much stripped professionalism from every female-driven career, every female-driven profession. They are now saying you are no longer a professional because they fear you. They want to subjugate you. Project 2025 in full bloom. We warned you, we told you about it, but that huge chunk that reads at a second or third grade level believed the ignorance and hatred because they peaked in middle school and they needed a president to make the lives of others worse, because they knew that their lives would never get any better because of their choices, their decision, their ignorance and hatred. So they needed a president that's going to go out there and make the lives of others worse, just so they feel better about their pathetic, sad existence. And it's sad, but I love you. I love y'all, you little barks. And we're going to have facilities and special programs to deal with your ignorance and your hatred, because we're going to deal with that as a mental illness, as the mental illness that it is. Because nobody's born hating. You learn that throughout your pathetic little lives. So we're gonna help you. We're gonna help correct that. And those of you that want the help, the ones that don't, there will be other forms of dealing with you. Like our billionaires, our beautiful patriotic billionaires. My Patriot Billionaire Fairness Act will ensure that your love and your intelligence and your beautiful wealth stays in America. You're not going to be able to take it out and leave the country if you don't like the fact that you're going to have to pay your fair share. It's not going to happen. So the fear of our beautiful women, the sources that we owe everything to, our moms, our sisters, our moms, our grandmoms, our wives, our daughters. This is who they fear most. And this new order that they're putting through to strip you of your professional careers, of your degrees, of your doctorates, because beta boy bitches are threatened by you because there's no other reason for this, shows what I've been saying all along, that we cannot have anybody in D.C. be our next president. We need one of us. And I say it again, to me the best president will be a single mom who's raised 3 kids successfully despite her idiot husband. That's leadership. And that's what they fear. That's what they fear. The fact that you can do that and they can't. Because of the love and intelligence that you're innately born with. So I'm going to have a cabinet of alpha women just to terrify the hell out of these beta bitches. All these beta boy bitches will cower at the feet of our alpha women that I will empower to return our nation to the founding fathers' vision of a nation solely built on freedom. Wasn't a Christian nation, wasn't a white nation, because if it were, these writers, these detailed, deliberate individuals would have wrote it into that beautiful document. Not one word says God, Christian, Jesus, Christianity. 4,543 words. Writers would have put it in there. Prominently. Everywhere from the top down. It would have said, we the Christians of America. I would not say we the people if they wanted a Christian nation. They would have wrote it at the top. Bigger than everything else. But because they knew that we the people was where the power and strength of their nation built on freedom would be, they put that at the top. And they could have called it the separate states, the individual states, the Christian states, the Anglo states. They didn't. They consciously, purposefully named it the United States of America. Because they knew the power and strength of we the people was united. That other word they fear so much. So we're seeing everything that I've laid out and everything that I've expressed to you guys, that the vast majority of you guys understand and have agreed with. But those little beta boy bitches will say, Trump is the best president of my lifetime. My answer to that is, man, you've lived a sad, pathetic lifetime. If you think this is the best. Because some of us actually got to live during a small sliver of American life where we were proud to say that we were the melting pot of the world. And let me tell you, the best art, the best music, the best technology, the best innovations came out of that era. The best music came out of that era. And that doesn't matter what genre. country, salsa, hip hop, rap, rhythm and blues, the best. I challenge anybody to tell me an age where better talent came out, because it doesn't exist. So we the people need to get back to that founding fathers' vision of a nation built on freedom. We need to remove all these beta boy bitches, address with them and deal with them effectively and concisely as never before, and what will be the largest cleaning of ignorance and hatred throughout the nation that there has ever been. Because you will not find an Adolf Hitler statue in Germany. You will not find a Hermann Goering Way in Germany. So Robert E. Lee Boulevards are gone. All these bases that they're returning the racist names to will be removed again. And every power, every right that has ever been touched against the women that gave us life will be returned and empowered forever under an administration that I will bring of love and intelligence. Not a politician, not a captain of industry. I'm a regular, middle of the road, moderately talented, moderately educated, real fucking American, whether you realize it or not. The brown in my skin means that my roots have been on this continent longer and before any of you beta boy bitches ever stepped on our nation. And let me tell you, my brown brothers and sisters, I really need to dive in and see what the problem is here with our native nations that are still getting screwed and being treated as less when they are actually more. So I need to fix that. Like I said, I'm about solutions. And I don't think that excluding our native lands from the nation makes any sense at all. So again, I don't know how that is. Please, if you are part of a Native American a nation, tell me, let me know what you want, because I see the sadness. I feel it. So we got to fix that. When the founding fathers put we the people on top, they knew that there were a lot of things that they couldn't say and they couldn't write into their document at the time. Like assigning percentages to human beings. That I guarantee you they weren't in agreement about that. Some were obvious slave owners. They said no. They don't get any rights. We're their masters. We own them. They don't get any rights. The other side said, listen, brother, we're building a nation on freedom. Solely on freedom. So it's either rights for everybody or rights for nobody. So because they're building a democracy, they came to a democratic resolution, a compromise that became that deplorable, horrific assigning of percentages to human beings. But because of that democratic decision, that compromise, awful as it is in today's world, that compromise laid the groundwork for a nation built on freedom.